If you're into modern guitars that are super versatile, sleek in design, extremely reliable, and have all the bells and whistles that come with a high performance machine, then this one's probably worth a look. Today we're diving into the Jackson MDK Pro Plus Evertune 7 after 18 months of touring with it around the world. Welcome back. Sorry for the delay. I've been out touring my ass off. But today we've got a fun video I've personally been wanting to make for quite some time now, well before all this YouTube bullshit. I spent the last 2 years touring the planet with the Jackson MDK Pro Plus models. I figured now's a better time than ever to give you guys an honest review. So this guitar is Jackson's answer to the modern guitarist. It's definitely a welcome staple to their premium range, especially with all the modern tech that comes with this guitar. That alone was what personally drew me to this model in particular. However, this is a tour tested review, so we're gonna go through all the ins and outs. There's so many rad things to talk about this guitar. However, stick around because I did have my run-ins and that's just inevitable when you play as many shows as this guitar has. But before we get into all of that, let me give you a quick refresher on the specs of this workhorse. So first off, we have a basswood body with an arch top featuring a deep gold sequence sparkle gloss finish. This finish looks insane under lights, even though it looks a little beaten up. We have a 3-piece maple Wangay bolt-on neck, graphite reinforced, satin finish neck with the truss rod adjustment at the heel, an ebony fretboard with 24 jumbo stainless steel frets, 12 to 16 inch compound radius, lumen lace side dots, great for any dark stages, saved me many times more than I'd like to admit, Dunlop dual design strap locks, 26.5 scale length. It's loaded with active Fishman Fluence open core pickups, and as you can see, they're quite tour worn. It even comes stocked with an Evertune bridge, in my opinion one of the best bridges on the market, I'll die on that hill, and finally locking Goto tuners. The control layout includes a master volume, a tone knob, and a 5-way blade switch, and all the models are made in Korea, which generally do a pretty solid job. Alright, so on to the fun stuff. I've played this guitar absolutely everywhere, from the smallest club shows in the middle of literally nowhere to some of the biggest outdoor festival stages 9-year-old me couldn't even fathom. Hot, cold, humid, wet, fire, beer, everything, you name it. It's seen it all, and I do not recall a time where it ever skipped a beat. The general stability of this guitar honestly has been insane. I think that largely comes down to the solid construction that the guitar is. However, when it comes to putting a guitar into my touring rig, I guess, or rotation, whatever you want to call it, there's some crucial pieces that I personally really, I'm quite picky at. Tuning stability. Obviously that's a no-brainer when it comes to tuning a guitar low, and the Evertune bridge, a stock feature, mind you, on this guitar, is kind of designed for that, quite literally designed for that. As crazy as it sounds, tuning is literally not even a stress or thought that crosses my mind, not even remotely anymore. This bridge works night in, night out, tour after tour, never fails. Next, stability. It's crucial for playability and just clarity across the fretboard, and this thing rarely ever moved. Even with all the transit that comes with international touring, I mean, every now and then I'll just give it a little slight turn on the truss rod just for the sake of sanity, but it was never ever an overhaul. The Fishman pickups, they've been great as well. They're not my preferred pickup, to be completely honest. I'm a proud endorsee of bare knuckle pickups, so these will be replaced. But just generally speaking, this guitar has gone through 2 years of just riff slaughterhouse, and they haven't really been an issue, so to speak. So hats off to them as well. The only real times I ever struggled with the guitar was this one time in Germany. My bridge pickup just decided to come out. It just kind of unthreaded. I don't ever touch it, so I don't know what happened there, but I don't know, it seems like an anomaly in my opinion. And just a preference thing, I guess, but the control layout is just a little bit congested for me. Every time I went to go change the bridge pickup to neck, I would always hit the volume knob. So we'll touch more on that later though. But anyways, let's just hear this in action. Instead of going through every individual sound like you've probably seen in videos from a year ago, I'm just gonna throw this into context for you. All right, so after taking this guitar around the world and really getting the opportunity to live with it, here are my real world pros and cons, both practical and personal. All right, so pros, where to begin? Honestly, this guitar, like the build quality is actually, it's phenomenal. This is just a Korean made, production model that's a bit more premium, sure, but it's so structurally sound. As a touring artist, one of the biggest things I personally look for is reliability in a guitar. One of the biggest pros in my opinion for this guitar is the Evertune locking tuner combo. That to me is, not just for someone that we relatively change our strings ourselves, but we've just, as of recently, started getting techs out on the road with us. Even for a tech, I can imagine this would be an absolute dream. The Evertune, if you've never used one or ever restrung one, man, like it is the game changer. I really don't see that combo being rivaled by anything anytime soon. The neck, it is rock solid. This neck is honestly, 3-piece maple Wenge neck, doesn't move. And final pro, honestly, it might be a simple one, but it's just ridiculously comfortable. It's really fun to play. I always warm up before a show, but it probably just don't need to. Like in terms of like the feel side of things, I can just get up and it just immediately sits in the hand nice. I fall into the pocket with it. It's not too heavy, even though it is an Evertune guitar. It's kind of the downside of Evertune. But just, yeah, the body itself, the neck itself, fantastic. All right, so the juicy stuff, the cons. I'm gonna go right ahead and put a disclaimer right at the start of this. It's all preference. You might like it, I might hate it. You might hate it, I might like it. Take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, we'll run straight into it. Pickups, they're not for me. Like they're a great pickup. I don't want to sound like I'm ragging on them. I think they're a phenomenal pickup. They're just not my thing. They're like, I can see how they can really relate to a lot of different styles of music, and I can see exactly what Jackson was going for with this modern guitar. They're a very modern pickup. They will be getting replaced, but yeah, variety in wood. It's been all across these models. It's all been ebony. I would love to see a maple fretboard. I am an absolute sucker for it, so I'm just going to go ahead and manifest this now, and you can all thank me later. My last con kind of is, I kind of hope this gets heard. It's the control layout. It's a hard thing because I understand we are kind of limited for space with this. However, with this particular layout, you've kind of like, I've ran into this problem so many times in a live scenario that it is literally to the point where I might do a review on my other 7-string, it's the exact same model, I just refinished it, but I completely took out the volume knob. I put the volume knob where the tone knob is, so there's no tone knob, I don't need a tone knob, but we won't go into that. But what that's done is it's freed up my path to my pickup selector. So I found nearly every time I go from my pickup selector live, I'll always hit the volume knob because I'm going over it or I'm coming back over it. I always hit it. I'd love to see that freed up. That is just something that it bugs me because, this guitar is being knocked out of the park. It is a fantastic guitar. Anyways, that wraps up for the pros and cons. I'd be curious to know what you think of those, so please let me know in the comments. But moving forward, who's this guitar for? So this guitar, in my honest opinion, is kind of for two people in particular. I would say the first one is the person that is playing gigs regularly or is looking for a guitar that essentially is going to hold up every single time they pull it out of the case. This guitar absolutely is astounding for that. Like the Evertune locking tuner combo, Jesus. Flawless, like I said. And then the maple neck, it's just absolutely rock solid, does not move. It's unreal for that kind of player. Second player, I would say, would be the studio guitarist. This is a guitar that could literally sit in a case for a month and you could pull it out, put new strings on it, and it will be relatively in tune, if not perfectly in tune. I've many times reached on my guitar mid-tour or after tour, after a massive flight, it comes out perfectly in tune. Not to mention, again, the neck doesn't move. So you never have any intonation issues. I never have really much like buzz issues. So yeah, if you're a studio player or you're a live touring musician or playing gigs regularly, this guitar is honestly right up your alley. You should check it out. So after a long, grueling 24 months of touring this modern machine across the planet, it's undeniable this guitar has honestly just proven itself time and time again. It's extremely versatile, it's road ready, it's tour worn, it's just an incredible guitar to play. So I really got to give a tip of the hat to the team at Jackson. They honestly knocked this guitar out of the park, especially for that kind of, answer to the modern guitarist. This is truly just a testament to that. And I, for one, am quite excited to see what Jackson does next with this modern line of guitar, because I personally think it's quite an exciting thing for the company. And yeah, I hope after this video, you agree with me. But real quick, this is a new YouTube channel. I hate to do it, but if you could like, comment, subscribe, blah, 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 all that stuff, it would do a great deal for me. So surely that's worth any of that. Also, if there is anything that you would like me to cover, please fire away in the comments. I am always excited to try something new. So anyways, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.